you had a really cool partnership, which we mentioned before, with Agility. Now talk about that a little bit and what that adds to your offering beyond all these amazing things you already detailed.
Yeah, for sure. So I kind of getting back to that point of what we're all about, which is delivering this kind of really pleasing, beautiful, memorable type of thing where we get to create stuff and, extend our JavaScript capabilities and make interactions really cool. The other half of the business is ensuring that after we roll off the project and the client is left with their product or their website, is that the architecture and the planning of the content system and the ability to manage content is not only really easy and enjoyable by core content teams on the client side, um, but that it's very easy to use, and that the structure of the content all makes sense as it's interrelated together, and that bits and pieces of components can be reused, and content libraries have been thought out, and the I guess the authoring workflows are in place. It's often overlooked where typically it's not just a resource, putting some copy and an image on a page. It could be a resource that needs to find some information from another system, compile it into a piece of content in collaboration with someone else, and it then needs to go through kind of legal approval, perhaps translation, then a final approval, and then another little bit of regionalized content needs to be dynamically put into that piece before it actually gets published. So as you begin to work with larger organizations that have more governance and compliance requirements around content, the ability to simply post and publish something, although is really important, it's equally important to think through creating a system and customizing the back end so it's easy to use and is compliant with current workflows. That's we're often brought into projects to do next gen, which is really great for us because we're working with a team that has also experienced a digital product before, and they kind of know the challenges involved and the extended thinking required. So yeah, it's a fairly strategic and project that needs to be well planned, which, way back to your original point, is one of the challenges around budgets. The concept of what the budget should be for a fairly novice product owner on the client side is kind of the tip of the iceberg, and it's really our job to thoughtfully and through educational consulting really communicate the girth of these things, which also relates to why they can cost a little bit more than originally expected.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think you state things that, even though for me, I've been in this space for so long, since like 99, you kind of gloss over all the hard work that goes into the build up and then the management of these systems. And especially with the amount of content people are trying to curate on their sites now, I don't think people realize how much could go wrong, how much heavy lifting there is. And then there's that support piece that, until you started talking to me about it with a recent client, I didn't even know it was so hard. So, definitely recommend you keep reminding people as sort of that trusted advisor to keep aware of some of the pain that they might feel later. So definitely interesting, and awesome things, it sounds like, with what you're doing with Agility.